Hi, friends. My name's Melissa. Thank you for coming to your mat today and coming to my YouTube channel and joining me. This class is designed to kind of wake up our joints and get our blood flow moving. So it's a great practice to do first thing in the morning, but you can practice it anytime you'd like. Might also be really nice midday if you've been sitting for a while. So I hope you enjoy it. And let's get started. We're going to start standing at the back of our mats. So come to Tadasana at the back of your mat, feet hip width apart. Spread out the toes, ground through the big toe mounds, the little toe mounds, and the heels. Bring a slight engagement to the quads. Squeeze the low ribs. Draw the shoulders back and down and reach up through the crown of your head. We're just going to start by taking 3 big cleansing breaths to center ourselves. So on your next inhale, we're going to reach the arms out and up towards the sky, nice and slow. Look up at the hands, and then as you exhale, bring the hands through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Your eyes can be open or closed for this first part. And then pausing for a moment with the hands at heart center. Maybe taking a moment to express gratitude for something in your life, especially if it's the start of your day. It's a nice way to start. Good. And then bring your hands to your hips. So as we begin to move now, we're going to be balancing a little bit. So if you need some support, feel free to use a wall close by or bring a chair close by or something you can kind of hold on to steady yourself. Okay, we're going to bring our weight to our right foot and lift the left knee. Now draw that right hip in because it tends to kind of cock out when we do that, okay? So a lot of engagement in that inner right thigh. And we're just going to start with some ankle circles in that left foot. And then reverse the direction. And then moving up to the knee, we're going to steady the upper leg and just try to swing from the knee joint, making these circles with the lower leg. And reverse the direction. And then moving up to the hip now, we're going to make big circles at that hip, moving in one direction, trying to isolate the movement to the hip, staying strong in the standing leg, and reverse the direction. And then release that foot down. Ground into that left foot. And when you're ready, inhale and lift the right knee. Now again, draw that left hip in, engage the inner left thigh, and do some circles with the right ankle. And then reverse the direction. Moving up to the knee now, just like a pendulum, swinging the lower leg around in a circle at the knee joint. And then reverse the direction. And then moving to the hip, making big circles at the hip in one direction. And then reversing. And then release that foot down. Feet hip width apart. We're going to bend the knees. And we're going to swivel the hips side to side. And then forward and back. And then we're going to make circles here, kind of like you're hula hooping. Feels really good in the lower back and hips. Reverse the direction. Bringing a little blood flow to the pelvis. Good. And then pressing in with the feet, standing up tall again. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And then interlace your hands, except for your pointer finger. And just pointing your pointer fingers up towards the sky. Micro bend in the knees. Squeeze those low ribs in. And then as if you're drawing circles on the ceiling, we're just gonna move our torso in circles. And then reverse the direction. Keep breathing. Good, stand up tall. Reach the arms out from your shoulders. Curl the fingers in. Keep the thumbs extended like you're hitchhiking. We're going to start to make small circles. Doesn't matter which direction you're going, we'll switch in a little bit. Just starting with these small circles, not locking the elbows, but keeping the arms straight. And we'll start to make the circles a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, and bigger. So getting into the shoulder joints, and really big. And then we're gonna reverse it. We're gonna start big and start to make our circles a little bit smaller and smaller. Keep the core engaged. Isolate it to the shoulders. Smaller circles, really small circles. Good. Then reach your fingers out wide, wiggle the fingers. And then bring your fingertips to the shoulders, bending at the elbows. And then a gentle bend in the knees. Keep your hips stable. And we're just gonna twist here in the upper back. And then come to center, reach the arms out wide again. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, give yourself a big hug. Bring the hands to the shoulders, tuck your chin, and gently roll your head side to side, finding a stretch in the side of the neck. And then bringing your chin back towards the chest. Notice which arm is on top. And then as if you're pulling your shirt off, you're just gonna lift the elbows, trying to keep the hands on the shoulders as long as you can. And then eventually the arms come apart. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. And then we're gonna bring the other arm on top for another hug. Tuck the chin, gently roll your head side to side. And bring the chin back towards the chest. Same thing again, trying to keep the arms wrapped for as long as you can as you reach the elbows up overhead. Eventually the hands come apart. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Release the arms down. And then just do some shoulder rolls. And switch direction. And then inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, draw the hands through heart center, find a slight bend in the knees, hinge at the hips, and come all the way forward to a forward fold. And then inhale to a half lift, bringing your torso parallel to the floor, head and neck in line with the spine. Exhale, fold forward. We're gonna do that twice more. So as you inhale, press into the feet, curl up halfway, and then lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, press into the feet, roll up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then we'll take a few breaths in our forward fold. Let's take ragdoll arms, so hands to opposite elbow crease. Knees can be bent a little or a lot. And maybe you choose to sway a little side to side.
Keep your chin tucked, let the head be heavy. Try to keep the weight centered in your feet. So you're not leaning too much into the heels or into the toes. And then coming to center, release the arms. And we're just gonna kind of crawl forward into a downward facing dog. Okay, so hands should be way out in front of the shoulders, fingers spread really wide, feet are hip width apart, and we want to start with the knees deeply bent and find some movement. So taking the hips side to side and walking out the legs, just finding a little wiggle before we settle into stillness. Good, so then when you're ready, actively press into the hands, draw navel to spine, reach the tailbone towards the sky, keep a micro bend in the knees, push your heart back towards your thighs, relax the head and neck, broaden the shoulders. Take 3 full inhales and exhales here. And then with your next inhale, we're going to roll forward to plank. So come forward, stacking your shoulders over the wrists. Feet should still be hip width apart. Wrap the shoulder blades onto the back, squeeze the low ribs in, and draw the sits bones towards one another. Reaching out through the crown of your head. Take another full breath in. Full breath out. And then drop your knees. We're going to bend the elbows straight back, keeping the arms close to the body, lowering the chin and the chest to the floor so the booty stays up in the air for a moment. And then we untuck the toes and come all the way onto the belly. And then from here, we're going to bring our elbows to the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. So your shoulders stack directly over the elbows. Your palms are flat on the floor. Your gaze is down at the mat between your thumbs. Draw the shoulders back. Draw navel to spine. Lift through the heart. Pretend to drag the elbows back to find more stretch in the front of the torso. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your left knee, flex the left foot, gaze over your left shoulder. Keep the heart lifted. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend the right knee, gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend both knees. And always remember, if there's any pain in the low back, you don't have to do this pose, or you can modify, maybe coming down off the elbows. Good, release the feet. We're going to slide the elbows in underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press up through table. Take the knees wide apart, big toes together. Bring your hips to your heels. Walk your hands far forward. Rest your forehead on the mat. Close your eyes. Take 3 full breaths here. Expanding through the back of the heart. With each exhale, feel the body sinking in closer to the earth. And then with your next inhale, walk your hands way over to the left. Sit back into the right hip, curl the right fingertips further away. Feel that stretch in the right side body. And breathe into the right ribs. And with your next inhale, walk the hands forward again. And as you exhale, walk them way over to the right. Sit back into the left hip, crawl the left fingertips as far away as you can. Breathe into the left side body. And then inhale, walk your hands forward again. And then we'll come up to table. So stack shoulders over wrists, spread the fingers wide, stack hips over knees. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So on your inhale, you're gonna lift your tailbone, lift your gaze as the shoulders drop back towards the hips. And then exhale, press into the hands, draw navel to spine, chin to chest, arching the back of the body towards the sky. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale for cat. Do one more round. And then inhale back to table. Good. Extend your left leg back behind you. Tuck the toes under. Press back through the heel. Feel that stretch in the calf and the hamstrings. Maybe rocking a little forward and back. And then drop that left heel behind the right toes. Keep the right toes out behind you. Inhale, sweep the left arm up towards the sky. Exhale as it sweeps down in front of you. Let's do 2 more big circles just like that. And then on your next exhale, take that left arm behind the body for half bind. And then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Should feel a nice stretch in the left side of the neck. Press the tailbone a little bit forward. Breathe. And inhale, reach the left arm towards the sky. Option to lift the left leg. You can take a few breaths here, focusing on balance, and or maybe bend the lifted leg and reach back to capture the foot. This invites a nice quad stretch into the leg, as well as the balance. And inhale, release, and then exhale back to table. And we'll switch sides. So we're gonna extend the right leg back, tuck the toes under, press back through the heel, rock gently forward and back, finding that stretch in the back of the leg. Good. And then we're going to drop right heel behind the left toes and then kick your left toes behind you for support. Inhale, sweep right arm forward, up, and exhale as it sweeps across the floor in front of you. Do that 2 more times. And then the next time you exhale, we're gonna take a half bind. So taking that right arm behind the low back. Keep the shoulders drawn away from the ears and just gently drop left ear to left shoulder to feel that stretch in the right side of the neck. Pressing the tailbone slightly forward, grounding through the outer edge of the back foot. And then inhale, reach the right arm towards the sky. Option to lift that right leg. And yet another option, if you choose to, you can reach for the ankle on that lifted foot, bending the knee, pressing the tailbone forward, finding that quad stretch. And inhale, extend, and exhale, release back to table. We're going to cross the ankles. And we're going to come back, rolling over the feet and extending the legs forward. So finding Dandasana, staff pose. Okay, feet hip width apart, feet flexed. Finding those sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. So inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, draw the shoulders down the back, squeeze the low ribs. See if you can lengthen through the spine a little bit more. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to draw the navel in and up as you lift the right foot off the floor. Okay, so trying to access the core muscles here, the abdominal muscles, more than the hip flexors. You'll still probably feel it in your hip flexors, but trying to share some of that effort with the abdominals. But release that foot down, lengthen through the spine, take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw navel in and up as you lift the left foot off the floor, just an inch or two, pressing out through the heel. Keeping those abdominals engaged to help with the effort. Good, release, inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips, keep reaching out, keep lengthening through the spine for as long as you can. When you can't go any further without rounding, go ahead and let the back round. Let the hands come to the floor beside the legs. And then come onto your spider fingers. Inhale, lift halfway, reach your heart towards your toes, draw the shoulders back. So again, trying to access that long spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, round forward. And then slide the hands back towards your hips as you lift your torso. From here, we're going to make our way onto our backs. So roll back, hug your knees into your chest, and rock side to side. You bring the feet to the floor, feet hip width apart, heels almost out of reach of your fingertips when your arms are alongside the body. Okay, finding that neutral curve underneath the low back, so keeping a little bit of space underneath the lumbar spine. Ground into the big toe mounds, and then pretend to drag the heels apart just a little bit, so there's a slight internal rotation in the legs. And then on your next inhale, lift the hips towards the sky. Bring flow here, so exhale, bringing the hips back to the mat. Inhale, press the hips towards the sky. Exhale, hips down. Inhale, press them up. So there's a slight engagement in the glutes. Exhale, lower. Stay grounded in those big toe mounds. Don't let the knees splay apart. And don't look side to side. You may be trying to look towards the screen, but you can injure the neck by looking sideways in this pose. So if you need to look at the screen, sit up a little bit. And then the next time you inhale and lift, we're going to hold here for a few breaths. So roll the shoulders underneath the body, interlace the hands. Again, ground into the big toe mounds, pretend to slightly drag the heels apart. Squeeze the low ribs together. Find your breath. Take one more breath in, lift the hips a little higher. And then as you exhale, release the hands, take the shoulders out from under you, and lower back down. Then now walk the feet mat width apart, cactus your arms, and windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then come to center. Pick up your hips, scoot them 2 inches to the left. Take your knees over to the right. So you can either stack the knees or wrap the legs or extend the right leg towards the front of your mat, left knee on the floor. Maybe extending the arms out more into a T. And then closing your eyes, settling into this twist for a few moments.
And with your next inhale, slowly making your way back to center. And then taking your hips a couple inches to the right, taking your knees to the left. Again, finding any version of this twist that you like. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing you did on the other side. You just need to tune into your body, listen to what it needs, and honor it. With your next inhale, make your way back to center. And then hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around tight, giving yourself a nice embrace. And then exhale, lift your head up, curling into a tight little ball. And then inhale, release and stretch out for Shavasana. Turning the palms up towards the sky, letting the feet gently fall outward. Relaxing the jaws, eyes closed. Noticing the cool air as it flows in through your nostrils. Bringing vitality into the body. And then notice the warm air as it flows out of the nostrils. Releasing stagnant energy or negative thoughts, or tension in the body. Inhale, vitality. Exhale, release. If you have time to stay in Shavasana a little longer, please do so. Otherwise, we'll start to bring movement back into the body by wiggling our fingers and our toes, our hands and our feet. And reach your arms up overhead, finding one more long stretch. And then rolling to one side, taking a few more moments in the fetal position. And then keep your eyes closed, making your way back to seated. Find a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. It's important for us to find a routine, a ritual, or what we call in yoga sadhana to practice daily. Anytime that you like, but just having a regular routine, being persistent in your practice will really start to change how you feel. Thank you so much for practicing with me, taking care of your body, mind, and spirit. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.